You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
I think it's only right to start and talk about someone we probably won't ever speak about again as a Miami Dolphin. But Will Fuller is out for the season. I believe he's finished. He's stats for the year are 4 receptions and 26 yards. It's interesting because a lot of people are kind of saying, injury prone, all that kind of stuff. I personally believe that there's more to it. He obviously missed, was it one game due to reasons that no one knows about?
Right.
Obviously,
opening the season opener.
Yeah. And obviously, some people are saying it's a broken finger. Like, players play through broken fingers. You tape that stuff up and you keep on going. I guess as a receiver, you need, fingers. Even if you tape them up, you probably still want maximum, flexibility in your hands and stuff like that. Like, I don't doubt that he's recovering from injury. There's probably been some complications, but I also think there's probably something more to it. My question to you is, I've got 3 questions that all fall into each other. One, does he go down as the worst free agent signing in Dolphins history? 2, do you think they bring him back next year? And 3, if you are to bring him back, what do you pay him?
To answer your first question, I don't think he goes down as the worst free agent in history. I think someone else has that. Can't remember who off the top of my head. And if I did some homework, I'm pretty sure we could find someone who had multiple years, right? A multiple year contract and that played for the Dolphins. He has 1 year, $10 million. You could eat that and all right, it didn't work out. Do I think he'll be back next season? That's all contingent upon what's going on. If there are, how bad is the behind the scenes with it, right? Because when the public gets information, the public gets it, but they didn't get all of it. And then when they did get it, they probably didn't get the right amount of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much did you really get? So there's a chance he could be back. And then that's when you say, well, look, bro, you've been in the building. You know the playbook. We gave you 10 last year. Will Smith caught more passes than you this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kadeem Simmons has 26 yards less than you receiving, and Charlie Touche has 4 receptions less than you in receptions. Help us out. So I think you could get him on a discount. You could get him on a bargain next year. And I'm open to it. But how bad is the behind the scenes? So I don't know if we're going to go down that route. If it's just a finger, or not even just a finger, if it's just injuries, I will say I like what you said, because it doesn't feel like he's coming back. And it feels like there is more, but time will tell. It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm Charlie Touche. I got Kadeem Simmons with me. It's always for the fans, by the fans. Y'all know what time it is. What you think about the Will Fuller situation, Kadeem?
So I spoke to Sherrod Steve when the news came out that his season ending, and I actually hoped to get Steve on this show, but he said his parents are down, so it wasn't kind of up in the air. So Steve, if you're listening, hope your parents are well, hope the kids are well, hope the family is well. We'll get you on there soon. He said Mike Wallace was the worst FA in team history, simply for the reasons that you said. That was a long-term deal. I think he'll be back next year, and I even sent Steve the quote Brian Flores and Chris Greer will say when he returns. So I said, what they will say is, we like what he did in training. and we feel with a full offseason behind him, we will see the real Will Fuller in 2022. I think that's basically, what will happen. Literally, as I say that, just got a message from Sharewide Steve, so this is live. Sharewide Steve has said, maybe it wasn't Sharewide Steve or someone else, but I think he's typing. I might have from Sharewide Steve very, very soon. But yeah, I think this wasn't a season in which Will Fuller played badly. This was a season in which, I think most of the blame on his injury falls on Jacoby Brissett because he threw the ball into the ground. Will Fuller got injured trying to make a football play. It's not like he was. I don't want to throw no players under the bus. You know exactly what I'm talking about when we talk about players getting injured and they're not even on the field. It's like, dude, how did you get injured waking up at your bed? What is wrong with you? So, Will Fuller tried to salvage a bad pass and broke his finger. That's really unfortunate. I think they might look at it and go, listen, we like what we saw on the practice field. Let's get you back. Let's get you healthy. There's the whole, let's shut you down now. You might have made it back on a playoff run, but we're going to shut you down now. Come back next year. It won't be on 10 million, but hopefully you can work something out. Because I also think, in the nicest way possible, where else is he going to go?
Right. So here's my thing. I don't know if the Dolphins said shut you down because they got $10 million behind them. I think this was more of Will Fuller saying, look, man, this finger is bothering me. I thought I could play with it. And I have no desire to go out there and drop 50% of my passes knowing I'm going to be a free agent this year. So I am going to look out in the best interest of myself right now because, one, I might hurt the team a little bit more than I can help. But at the same time, I'm going to be a free agent again next year. And if I go out here and have a 30 catch season and 180 yards receiving yards. What I said, hold up, 30 receptions, right? Yeah. Let's say if I have a 30 reception season and 200 yards receiving this year and 8 drops, 10 drops. That's not going to look good on me going into free agency next year. I'd rather die on this hill and not play at all and go into next season healthy. If you guys don't like that, this is Will Fuller talking. If you guys don't like that, I can understand it, but let's work it out next year. And then you'll get me at 100%.
Yeah, and I think, there's no tape this season to look at for Will Fuller. It's actually, hold on. You said he missed the first game. Wasn't it the third game? Didn't he have a 2-game suspension?
So he had a 1-game suspension. So he missed the second game.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not like he can go, okay, well, you know what? In Miami, you done X, Y, and Z. In Miami, this is team talking to Will Fuller at this point. In Miami, you continued that you can't stay healthy. Look, it's not a good look for him. So again, I think teams will look at him and say, we'll bring you in, but on a vet deal. You're not getting anything more than that. So, it's not like he came in and looking like Kenny Golladay in New York, which is like, nah, not a fan of that. I
don't know if that's on Kenny Golladay though. I think
no, not
at all. Danny Nichols.
Yeah, but then when he played us, he caught a pass and then went down injured. So it's listen. Oh yeah, I think it's more a point of Miami. At the start of the season, when we brought in Will Fuller and we brought in Jalen Waddle, we sat here on the podcast and said it's going to be Devante Parker, Will Fuller, Jalen Waddle, throwing a bit of Kirk Merritt, Preston Williams.
Mike Gesicki.
Yeah, and Waddle's the only one who stayed fit for the majority of the season. Williams, I don't think we've seen him since he got injured. We saw a bit of Kirk Merritt in preseason. Parker's been Devante Parker. And then obviously
Matt Collins exceeding expectations. Make sure you mention my dog, Matt Collins.
I was about to mention. I was about to get to Matt Collins and Isaiah Ford in terms of they've stepped up they've made plays when called upon. So, you know, do Miami look at it and go, we like what we have. We're going to assume that Devante Parker stays fit or gives us 6-7 games. We're going to assume that we can get 2 plays out of Preston Williams. On those 2 plays, one's going to be a drop, the other one's going to get injured. So we'll follow that, you know, as part of that rotation. But don't forget, we've also got Lynn Bowden coming back.
Yeah, I said it all the time. So here's my thing. I think you move on from Devante Parker because you have that in Preston. You had exactly the same thing in Preston Williams. When Preston Williams is available, he's capable of making the Devante Parker type catches for less money, right? For like $8 million less, right? So you get that out of Preston Williams. So then you have Lynn Bowden coming back. You have Waddle. You can upgrade somewhere, whether it's bringing in something like a Emmanuel Sanders or bringing in somebody in the draft that can go right away. I doubt you go draft someone high and start them. But while we're on the topic of receivers, I'm gonna leave it here for a second and come back to it because I'm gonna ask you the same question that I asked Chris Adams. Give me 1 second.
The answer is no.
All right, before we get there though, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Well, it's the holiday season, Christmas season, and a lot of people get anxiety around right now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to mental health awareness. It's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go overdoing it and wrecking your brain over the holiday season, getting updates right now about this week. Yes, so we'll get to that, the news that just came in. So, you know, don't go wrecking your brain over the holiday season. I know a lot of people, they get into depression and then they get anxiety and all this stuff for whatever reason. So I'm over here, things happening in life, and I'm running around, bro. Like, you hit me yesterday. We were supposed to record yesterday, Kadeem. And I was, for anyone who knows, I was north of Port St. Lucie. If you know where Port St. Lucie is in Florida, and everybody knows I live in Miami, so that's a little bop. That's a big bop. You know what I'm saying? That's over an hour and a half drive. So I had to make this drive both ways, and I'm like, man, I'm probably not gonna make it for the podcast to record with you last night. And then it was just, oh, now there's traffic. So unfortunately, we didn't get to record last night. And it's funny because I had some running around to do, even when I made it back down this way from driving from Port St. Lucie. So I had to go to, I almost said where I was. So I'm not gonna say it. So I had to go somewhere and pick something up real quick. And it's cool. I run into friend of the podcast, Robert Hunt, again. No kidding.
Hold on. Doesn't he have COVID?
Does he?
I'm pretty sure he's on the COVID list. I'm not kidding around.
Look it up.
I'm looking up right now. I'm 99% sure he got named on the COVID list a couple of days ago.
Of days ago?
Yeah, but now I can't find it. So maybe I'm imagining things, but okay.
Hey.
I'll look. You keep going.
All right. So I run into a friend of the podcast, Robert Hunt, and I say, hey, bro, I'm going to need a picture of you this time. Straight up. I'm going to need a picture of you this time. And he says, a picture of me? So it is funny because the first time I met Robert Hunt, if you guys remember, he was like he was shocked that I knew who he was. Like, nah, bro, you recognize me? And so when I said, hey, man, I need a picture of you this time, he just reverted into, for real? Are you serious? Did you find something, Kadeem? Not yet?
Yeah. No, I found it.
So what's it say?
It says, so on the 22nd of December, which was yesterday, the Dolphins placed guard Robert Jones on the COVID list.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, my face is like, who's Robert Jones? So unless,
my goodness. Go ahead, Kadeem, continue.
No. What were you gonna say?
How you confuse Robert Jones and Robert Hunt, bro?
Because they're both called Robert.
No, one's a starter and one doesn't even play.
That's what. Okay, so Robert Hunt, I didn't mean to out there and put COVID on you. I apologize. Okay, So
dang, bro, that's a pretty big allegation to say someone out here running around with COVID, shaking hands and kissing babies. All right, so look, man. So I run into Robert Hunt, and I'm like, yeah, man, I need a picture of you this time. And he was like, surprised, like a picture of me? I like, yeah, bro. Rob, ain't it? He like, yeah. I like, yeah, man, I met you here a few months back. And you know how time fly. I'm thinking it was like, yeah, like 2 months ago. I like, well, I guess like 3-4 months ago. I don't know how long ago it was now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I lost track of time. And then he said, oh, your name Charles. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I couldn't hold in my smile. And I was kind of like, you remember me, bro? Bro, you remember me? Like little old me, you remember me, bro? You know what I'm saying? So I had to bring it back in. I had to get it together. Like, all right, get it together, Slick. So I like, yeah, man. Charles, man. He like, yeah, all right. I got your number, man. I like, yeah. Shout out to Robert Hunt anyway. So shout out Robert Hunt again. I got a picture with him this time. We're gonna throw it up on at Go Time Dolphins. Share, like, subscribe, follow us on our platforms, man. We appreciate everybody who's looking out. Appreciate friend of the podcast, Robert Hunt, and everybody else that rocked with us. It was a little. I didn't like it because I didn't have nothing in my hand, and I had to run in and out. I'm like, damn, man, dude probably think I'm following him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what's the chances? I mean, the chances are pretty good because you run into the same people where I ran into them. So you run into the same people, and every time from time to time. So it's not that crazy, but I was like, man, this is wild. We got to stop meeting like this. But on to what I was going to ask you, Kadeem. What was I going to ask you that you already said no to?
Would I sign Antonio Brown?
No.
Okay,
but we can start there. We'll start there, though. We'll start there. No, we'll start there.
No.
Why not, Kadeem?
No, I'm not doing it.
You're not saying why. Tell me why. Don't give me a no. We're not doing it.
Tell me why. For the exact same reasons, I wouldn't have signed him previously. I don't want that in the locker room. Now, I know what you're going to say. We signed Isaiah Wilson, Damon Arnett, all the people who are on second chances. And I think, I believe the reasons the Dolphins are signing those players because they're on second chances. Brown's on his third, fourth, fifth, depending on what he's been caught doing, I guess. You know, what he's been accused of, all that kind of stuff. I think, this is my opinion now, but someone like Antonio Brown, you know what you're getting. You're getting a veteran player who will ultimately kind of do what he wants. And, you know, if he goes to New England and Bill Belichick can't keep him in check, in the nicest way possible, that's not going to happen in Miami. I think with the likes of Isaiah Wilson, Damon Arnett, it's kind of like, we're bringing you in to see the mistakes you made in the past. Was that because you was young, and after you blew it in Tennessee and in Las Vegas, now you're in Miami, are you going to realize I can't do that again? You know, if I don't make it here, I'm done. Or were those mistakes? Was that you? Are you an irresponsible, childish, gun-toting person? Is that you in terms of Isaiah Wilson and Damon Arnett? So I think with Antonio Brown, I don't think he deserves any more chances in the NFL. That's just me personally.
That's fair. To say, all right, look, that's your excuse. Go with that. Say, I don't think he deserves any more chances in the NFL. I could rock with you on that because I am a stickler for look at that's collateral damage. There's so many other people who could use a chance in the NFL. But that's your opinion. You don't think he deserves it. Matter of fact, I don't think he deserves another chance in the NFL, but I still want him on the team. Like, listen, we talked about his contract. He is $3 million, Kadeem. 3, not 30. 3. So you have Antonio Brown, who knows he's on his last leg, that is still capable of 75 receptions a year. That's who you got in Antonio Brown. And we had a depleted receiving corps for the past 3 seasons, straight up. So you're telling me when he becomes available, you're not going to be interested in $3 million because it's not going to go up. It's not going up no more. It's not going to be 7 or 5 or 10. No, it's still like, yo, here goes another 3 for you, AB, for 1 year. It's not going to be multiple seasons and you get guaranteed money and then you blow it on us. No, that's not. Vegas had to fall on that sword. You know what I'm saying? So AB for $3 million already upgrades the receiving core. Now, my real question was this, Kadeem. Would you be interested in Amari Cooper? Because I believe he's going to become available next offseason, because I think the Cowboys are going to cut him. Would Amari Cooper interest you for something around the, let's just call it, $12 million range?
Yeah, I think it's hard to say no to that. I know, I'm pretty sure I came on here at one point and said, he deals with drops, and I think that's something he hadn't in the past, no longer the case. So I think, I'm willing to give Amari Cooper a chance in Miami. I think for the most part he's over his injuries. I think he's a veteran, who I think will elevate the wide receiver room, elevate Tua's play. Same way Tua would elevate his play. Yeah, I think, listen, it's harsh because there's a legit case to be made that starting wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins next year should be Matt Collins, because he's played that well. I think, but at the same time, this is a team which is, if we can improve on someone, we can. And, I think if anything, Matt Collins will see that and go, I'm not going back to special teams. I'm going to be a starter. Even if I've got, it's, I've said it before, it's not a Kadeem phrase, but, iron sharpens iron. So if Amari Cooper comes in and raises the performance of, Matt Collins, Isaiah Ford, Kirk Merritt, I've kind of gone past the point of believing that added wide receivers will keep Devante Parker healthy. That's just not the case. But listen, if we try out Matt Collins, Amari Cooper, and Jalen Waddle for 15 games, and then you sprinkle in a bit of Devante Parker and Preston Williams, I'm fine with that.
Here's the thing: if we go Amari Cooper, we're not going to keep Devante Parker. Now, and this is just my opinion, of course. If you go Amari Cooper, then you're going to be looking like Amari Cooper, Jalen Waddle, Lynn Bowden / Preston Williams and Matt Collins. That's what it's going to look like. But with Amari Cooper, he's just going to replace Devante Parker. Now, you can still go do a little bit more and try to find something like the third round, get you a third round receiver, get you a nice little receiver, or find a receiver period that you can insert into your top 5. That'll be nice if you could start scouting better. But here's the real question: do you think Amari Cooper is number 1 receiver right now?
I'll be honest, I generally don't know, and I say that because I've seen one Cowboys game this year, and that was against Washington. So I can't sit here and say, from what I've seen this season, he is, because I've got to a point in my NFL career where I watch Dolphin games and I work. I'm not going back and watching other games. I'm not watching, in the off season when there's talk of Amari Cooper leaving, I'll watch Cowboy games. In the off season when free agents are available, I'll go back and watch those games. But right now, on December 23rd, I've seen one Cowboys game, and I don't even think Amari Cooper played that game. So I don't know if he's number 1 receiver right now.
Let me ask you something. Do you think Devante Parker is a number 1 receiver?
When healthy, yes.
No, he's not a number 1 receiver. Like this is recency bias. You've seen a couple good catches the last couple games.
No, I think
he's not a number 1, bro.
I think for the most part, hold on. I think for the most part over the last 2 seasons, I think the
No, you can't say when healthy. No, that's not a cool. No. Is he a number 1 right now? That's it. Like, you can't say when healthy. Like, if he was healthy, then we wouldn't even be talking about letting him go. But he's never healthy, so you can't add that in there.
By the way, we've got a bet whether Parker starts 13.5 games this season.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh, where we at? Hold on, I took the under, right?
I think we both did the under.
No. Because we had bets against each other, I had the Tua at 35 touchdowns.
Actually, maybe I did take.
I think you took the over for sure. I know for sure I wouldn't touch that over.
Yeah.
So is it 13?
13 and a half.
13 at a damn foot. Oh, I won that already.
Yeah,
I
don't even know he starts this season.
I won that already. How many touchdowns Tua got?
Bear me 2 seconds.
All right, that's cool. So I'm gonna talk while Kadeem's fact check. But no, I do not believe Devante Parker is a number 1 receiver, and that's why we're looking for a number 1. And my next question to Kadeem when he comes back is going to be, how many teams in the NFL do not have number 1 receivers? Because I feel like the Dolphins are one of those teams that do not have a number 1 receiver. So while we're struggling on the O-line and then we don't have a number 1 receiver, like, how do you expect us to perform on the offensive side of the ball? So when you soup up your O-line, it helps everybody. It helps the running game, and it helps the quarterback with time, and he could put in ball placement and all the other good stuff. So you found something, Kadeem?
So Tua's got 14 touchdowns so far this season. And then Parker's played 7 games 7 games this season.
So we're even.
Pretty much, yeah.
Tua's not going to score 21 touchdowns in the next 3 games.
Given so it's just an update from Sherrod Steve. He won't be making the podcast. Life with a Kid. He said next time, but yeah,
it's funny since you brought up Sherrod Steve. We'll go into that. But how many teams do you think do not? Have a number 1 receiver? We go through the list. Like pull up the standings. We'll just run through the teams, and we'll see if you feel like they have a number 1 receiver or not. We can start AFC East. Patriots. Who's their receiver?
Do they still have N'Keal Harry?
Right, but I don't think he's a number 1.
Yeah, they picked up did they pick up Nelson Aguilar? Even they don't have a number 1 receiver. They just got a bunch of guys.
Aguilar. I think they got Bourne Identity over there, and they got Jacoby. Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
So they don't have a number 1. Buffalo has Diggs.
Yeah.
The Jets don't have a number 1.
No, the Jets have like Mims. They got a bunch of
they got what's the name? New dude, rookie. He's cool. He'll be nice in the slot forever, but he's
Davis?
not. No.
Again, like the Jets have no one, but yeah, no, I know.
I like dude too. This is gonna bother me that I can't remember that Jets receiver because I actually like him.
I'm quickly looking at the team right now. Yeah.
What's the Jets receiver?
It is. Oh, injured. Okay.
Elijah Moore.
Yeah, and didn't they pick up Corey Davis in free agency as well?
Yeah, they picked up Corey Davis. I don't think none of them are ones. No. Debatable, but so there's 3 teams in the NFL right now that we know that do not have a number 1 receiver, and
that's
one
the
is
AFC East alone.
yeah, that's the AFC East. Let's go AFC West. They got Tyreek Hill in Kansas City. Chargers have Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Raiders
have no one.
Do not have a number 1.
No.
Broncos.
Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah. I can give Jerry Jeudy a 1. You like Jerry Jeudy as a 1?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Jamar Chase in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh has Claypool and Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson, I would give the edge over Claypool.
Yeah.
The Browns have Jarvis Landry.
You'd say Jarvis is a 1?
Yeah, Jarvis is a 1. He's still capable of 100 catches. Just because they can't get on the ball doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, look at Odell. Odell left, and he's looking like Odell again.
Yeah, I think with Landry, it's like, I think my whole thing with ones is, does the wide receiver command double teams? I don't think Landry Come on.
I think if you're gonna average over 85 receptions a year, I think you get number one. Not even average. If you're capable of getting 85 receptions a year, I think you got to be like, that's got to have some type of merit. You know what I'm saying? So just because you can't get on the ball doesn't mean he's not capable of doing it. The Ravens, they have Hollywood Brown. He one?
Yeah.
All right. And I like Rashad Bateman over there too. So the Ravens are going to be nice, but they don't have a quarterback to get them boys the ball. That's funny. At me. Come see me. Yeah, straight up. And if I'm the Ravens, y'all might want to think about re-signing Huntley and trading Lamar Jackson, because Huntley looks exactly like Lamar Jackson back there. So, and Huntley probably throws a little bit better than Lamar Jackson. Y'all know my at Charlie Touche. Come see me.
Him in the comments. Him in the comments, definitely.
AJ Brown, he's a one in Tennessee. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting stat. Christian Wilkins has more receiving touchdowns this season than Julio Jones.
Yes, I've seen that.
And I think he's also got the same amount as Kyle Pitts as well. I think both Kyle Pitts and Christian Wilkins have one.
And that's a stat. That's a stat for Sherrod Steve. Yeah. Dang, Christian Wilkins outperformed Will Fuller this year. But that's a problem.
Oh, it's not. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm Preston Williams.
And Preston Williams. All right. So the Colts, Michael Pittman, he's the one. He'll probably be a one next year. By like this time next year, he'll probably be a one. He's not there yet, but he'll be there. Texans, Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Jaguars, I have
DJ Shark still around, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's a one, but he's like at the bottom end of the ones.
I think the Jags are the kind of team that again next year, assuming they get in someone decent and Chark stays around, you look at Chark and Laviska Shenault and go, do you know what, those two are going to be an athlete.
I love Laviska Shenault. I drafted him every fantasy league I had, bro. I love Laviska. So you got the Cowboys, you got a Lamb and Cooper over there. The Eagles have Devante Smith. Washington has
Scary Terry
McLaurin. Giants have Kenny Golladay. Although I still think Kenny Golladay is a one. Like I said, just because you can't get on the ball doesn't mean he's not a one. Hopkins in Arizona. The Rams have 3 ones.
The Rams
have 3 number 1 receivers, bro. Like straight up. Robert Woods is hurt. They have Odell and they have Cooper Kupp, who isn't getting enough MVP talk because of the pigmentation of his skin. Had Cooper Kupp looked like me and you, Kadeem, he would have been in the MVP conversation, bro. It's crazy. I tell this to LB all the time. I like, bro, when Christian McCaffrey came out of college, bro, like had he been a different color, bro, he would have been, oh no, where's the talk around Christian McCaffrey? You know what I'm saying? How come he's not the Heisman Trophy winner? So it's wild how it's different on a football field. You don't get too many white cornerbacks either. I think there's only one. You know what I'm saying? I think there's only one, and it's the first one in like 13 seasons, something like that. So, yeah, Cooper Kupp, as oddly as it sounds, is not getting the credit he deserves. That's wild. So, Rams got 3 ones. 49ers have Debo. Brandon, they got Debo Samuel. Ayuk is capable of being a one. He had a down season this year. Seahawks have DK.
Tyler
Lockett. Packers have the best receiver in football.
He's nice.
The Vikings have Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen getting the tread on the tires isn't what it used to be for Adam Thielen, but they got Justin Jefferson over there. The Bears have who I still think is a number 1 in Allen Robinson. I would not pay number 1 money right now for Allen Robinson though. And that's a byproduct of we haven't seen the Allen Robinson we wanted to see in a long time. So how do we know you're even capable? So Allen Robinson's going to be a free agent next year. He's going to be a part of the conversation, but at what price? And I'm not interested in paying a crazy ticket. So maybe we could make a run and he becomes interested in us and he says, you know what, I want to be here. I believe in Tua. and let's make a deal happen. The Lions do not have a 1, right?
No, not at all. They got so in my Madden league. I am the Lions, like good and dirty. Tyrell Williams is probably like the best receiver they've got.
Yeah,
and he's a free agent. I don't think they signed him up, so I think he's a free agent.
And he's not on 1. So Amon-Ra St. Brown is the future.
Yeah,
y'all heard it here, right? It's Go Time Dolphins, though. Don't get it twisted. We just trying to find us. We trying to find us a number 1 receiver right now. Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond but across the world. I'm Charlie Touche. Got Kadeem Simmons with me. We're talking wide receiver 1s right now, and the Buccaneers have 2. They got Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. AB is no longer a 1, but he's capable of doing some damage on the field and off the field. The Saints have Michael Thomas.
Yeah,
the Falcons have Calvin Ridley, and the Panthers don't have a 1. Robbie Anderson a 1.
I'm gonna say Robbie Anderson. I think he's probably the closest thing they've got to a 1. Although don't they still got Curtis Samuel?
No, Curtis Samuel plays in Washington now.
Oh snap! Yeah,
but they got DJ Moore though.
That's it. Yeah, that's one of them.
They got DJ Moore, I don't think DJ Moore nor Robbie is a 1. But matter of fact, DJ Moore injury report just came up as we speak. So look, man, we got to find a number 1. Maybe Devante Parker goes to one of those teams that didn't have a 1 and balls out. I doubt it because I don't think the man can stay healthy. I really don't. So I think we need to worry about us. We need to get ourselves a 1, and we need to do that relatively quickly while building the line simultaneously. So
well,
you talk.
I was going to say, so like to me, the priority is still the offensive line, like because there's no reason why Waddle can't be our 1 next season. And to me, it's about let's not get distracted. As my mom messaged me when mom messaged, you got to make sure that everything's okay.
Hey, I feel you, bro. And you can't say you ain't get it because she just, you know what I'm saying. Mom watches, she's gonna be like, I know you got it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you.
So yeah, for me, I think Jalen Waddle is coming along very nicely to be the Dolphins' number 1
for sure.
And I still think priority has to be the offensive line. I don't know if we're going to talk offensive line this week because that boy Liam is playing well. But again, it's like what we said after the Jets game. That doesn't mean you don't upgrade pieces on.
Hey, O-line balling. We gonna give them credit. They balling right now. But
4 of the 5. 4 of the 5.
Hey, I don't like fool's gold though. Don't get comfortable thinking, oh, we got it together. Let's go in the next season like this. That's not what you want to do.
I've seen a few people. This is Dolphin Twitter say, you got 4/5 of the line. Go and get a right tackle. You're sorted. It's like I don't think so. And that's not to say the other 4 are bad players because they're still young. They're still growing. But if you could only give me, okay, I'll ask you first. If you could upgrade two of the positions.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna say right tackle and center. I still believe Solomon Kinley and Robert Hunt is the future, bro. Like Solomon Kinley don't even get snaps. I feel like he's him and Hunt together. I think they're the future. I really do believe that. So what I would do is go upgrade right tackle and center right now, and then you have either Kinley or we'll just call it Solomon Kinley at left guard. And then you have Austin Jackson and Liam Eichenberg battled it out at left tackle. And you say, y'all go to war. And now that gives you depth as well on the left side. Because now if someone gets hurt on the left side, they're interchangeable over there. If Kinley goes down, you can put Jackson at guard. If left tackle goes down, you have 2 starters, right? So what you do with the right side is, and I told this to LB, I'm like, bro, I go in free agency and go make sure I get a right tackle. Not only do I get a right tackle in free agency before the draft, I go get another right tackle in the draft. And this is why you're only 1 injury away from Jesse Davis again. You know what I'm saying? So no, you fortify that front. You go get a right tackle in free agency, and you go get a right tackle in the draft. Not too high, you know what I'm saying? But now you're ready. Now you got all kind of depth. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would do. Again, shout out the friend of the podcast, Robert Hunt. Dog is huge, bro. I had to take the picture. Like, yo, we gotta retake this because I look kind of tiny, bro. Like, let's take it this way. But go ahead.
I think people will come back and say you don't draft the right tackle because you can play Robert Hunt there. And I still think Hunt's one of those players, like, he can play right tackle, but he's a god. Like,
he's a god.
But you know, if the three positions I play Robert Hunt would be right guard, running back, and then right tackle. Like, I would see, obviously, you know, like with those hands and that running style.
I got to get my dog in the box. We got to get him in the box, man.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, you know, we'll cover this a lot more come draft season, all that kind of stuff. For me, it's Tyler Linderbaum from is it Iowa? Yeah, I think it's Iowa. Yeah. He's the center that I want in the draft. He's one of those guys where from now everyone's like best center in the draft, and to me it's like, obviously we'll look at the combine, all that kind of stuff, but he, like we said last season, with multiple players coming out in the draft, go get that center. Then that way you've got your center and you've got your quarterback sorted. Tyler's the kind of person who you're just going to be a monster.
So what you can do is get your right tackle in free agency. You can do that. And the reason you go right tackle in free agency because you don't play around in a draft, and then your right tackle that you wanted gets drafted before you. But I don't want to say you can wait on center, but you have a better chance of going into the draft to find a center than a right tackle, like a starting right tackle to protect your franchise. So I'm with you on that. Like, if you go right tackle in free agency, I have no problem waiting till the draft if you're gonna get the center. You know what I'm saying? Don't hit us with the okie doke. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, man, we got too cute, man. We had to trade back. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
Very quickly, so this is Go Time Dolphins, but I wanted to ask you this previously, haven't had a chance yet. Did you see whoever the Bears played last? I can't remember, but someone hit I think they played the Vikings. Someone hit Justin Fields. So Justin Fields went to slide.
Headshot.
Yeah. Tevin Jenkins pushed, I think with the Vikings, pushed a Vikings player. Jermaine Ifedi came and pushed Tevin Jenkins. And everyone's saying, well, Jermaine Ifedi is a fool for pushing Jenkins, and Jenkins was defending his quarterback. And I think Justin Fields after the game came out and said, I like what Jenkins done. So you're now getting a situation where everyone's blaming Ifedi for not protecting Justin Fields, but everyone's praising Tevin Jenkins for, after the play, pushing the player.
And we need to be clear that they're on the same team.
Yeah. So they're on the same. So my question to you is, whose side are you on? You on Jenkins' side, or you on Ifedi's side?
Go Time Dolphins, but this has to be discussed. I'm gonna tell you why. When the Vikings played, what was the game before that? When they were up like 29-0, who were they playing?
I'll fact check that.
It was on TV and they were blowing them out. Oh, the Steelers. It was the Steelers game. Vikings played the Steelers, and a corner, like the sixth corner on the depth chart was in. It was like 29-0, and it was third down, fourth down ish, and long. And this dude came in and had what's the taunting penalty? Stepped over the dude, was showboating, and it got a 15-yard penalty and kept the drive alive. And then everyone knows what happened after that. Steelers came back. It went down to the last play of the game. And the captain of the I don't know if Barr's still there. It might have been Barr. For the Vikings, like, get off the field, bro. Pointed to sound, hey, get off the field. Like, you done. Right? And then he was trying to stay around the field. And then somebody else came and pushed him like, nah, bro, we don't need you. You know what I'm saying? Like, go. And then dude was like, bring somebody else out here. Get somebody else out here. We don't want this dude on the field. And that's what you got to do sometimes. Not only you got to do that sometimes, Kadeem, you got to fight in the locker room. Like, bro, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, it's not about you. It's about the team. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the name on the back. It's about the name on the front. All the good cliches. Can't win with them. Mike Singletary, you feel me? And shout out to Ryan Tannehill. Not my favorite quarterback, but he's capable. He's cool. He's just, I prefer to have a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill. There was a game when Ryan Tannehill we were playing, and it was probably the last season or two. One of the last 2 seasons he played with us. We were up, and we got the ball back, and it was like a 3-minute drill type thing where you got to run the ball out. It was more than 2 minutes left, but you want to sit on the ball. It's probably like maybe a 4-minute drill. Run as much clock as you can. And some receiver came on. He was another dude far on the depth chart, and he wasn't a regular. He's probably came from the practice squad. He came on the field, and we got the ball back. We're trying to close the game and milk the clock, and he's fighting with somebody like hand fighting. And after the play, and someone pulled him by the shoulder pads, pull him back, and then Tannehill and the mic caught it. The microphone caught it. Tannehill's like, "Get the F out of here." You know what I'm saying? Like, get the F out of here. Like, so the dude, you can see he was like dejected because he don't ever get on the field. And I'm like, bro, that's the wrong time in the fourth quarter of a game, of a 1-score game, when there's 3 minutes left for you to try to prove yourself to someone else that you got hands. You know what I'm saying? So kicked him off the field. Someone else had to come replace him. I seen the example you're talking about. I don't think the Bears were even in the game. Like, they might have thought, oh, we have 2 possessions and we could come back. I'm like, bro, y'all not gonna win this game. Y'all not even y'all not in the playoff race. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't feel like Tevin Jenkins cost his team anything. What I needed to see was someone, it was a headshot, bro. Like, it was a straight up got him, that headshot. So what you wanted, like, nobody do nothing? You know what I'm saying? So I felt Tevin Jenkins, although me and Kadeem missed on Tevin Jenkins as of right now. We like Tevin Jenkins, and Chris Greer passed on him multiple times, and he ended up flopping, and now he's playing, and he's not playing that well.
I actually think that was his first start. Oh, no.
Nah. Oh, it might have been his first start, but he's played before.
Yeah, because it was the start of the season. Yeah, that was his first start.
First start or first game?
First start. But yeah, anyway, yeah. So you're saying, yeah.
All right, so he's not playing the best. So even if it was his first start, I don't think it was his first game, and that's why, right? So not because of his attitude, but his play isn't where it needs to be. So his teammate grabs him like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I think his teammate try to let you get out of here. Like, nah, bro. Like, you got to defend your quarterback. You got to defend your teammates. There was a receiver sometime in the past 2 years that it might have been Dallas last season. Someone got a concussion and no one did nothing. They just walked around. Like, y'all not gonna like show some emotion. Y'all not gonna go to the person who hit this dude illegally. So I prefer what Tevin Jenkins did rather than what the Cowboys did, and just, dang, they got our guy and just walked away. Like, how you do that? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have no problem with it with Tevin Jenkins.
The reason I asked that, because I'm actually on Jermaine Ifedi's side, and again, I understand what Tevin Jenkins done. To me, there's ways to do it. So don't do it after a play and cost us a penalty. If we're winning by 30 and it's the last minute, do you know what? Cool, whatever. But at the same time, pancake a dude and leave a bit after. Don't basically cost us a play. Now, I understand what you're saying in terms of, the Bears lost that game, the 4-10, they're not making the playoffs. But to me, it's, you want to teach the right things. And I think, if I didn't see when it happened. If that happened when Fields got hit, cool, fair enough. But I don't think it happened when. I think it happened after. And so I'm very much
what do you mean by after? Like, before the next play?
I think it happened. I think so. The way I believe this went down, Fields got hit. plays later, Jenkins done it. I'm saying if Fields got hit and Jenkins does that,
I don't remember it like that. I thought it was the same play. Like, yeah, you can't do it, bro. It's like committing a crime, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you can't get in trouble. Nah, it don't work like that. You gotta do it at the same time.
Okay, so okay, I got it wrong. It wasn't the same play. And I think Jenkins was the one that got flagged, despite the fact that someone swung first. So yeah, that changed my stance slightly in the sense that, defend your quarterback, defend your player. Do what you have to do. But I also think it's time and place. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that Jenkins was the one that got flagged. And I think if Eddie was like, dude, like your reaction cost us 15 yards or whatever it cost them. And yeah, it's like when we, started that Royal Rumble against the Bengals and Flores was like, everyone stop, don't fight. It's like you want that, you want that brotherhood. You want to see people go to bat for each other, but it's also like, don't get self-ejected, don't cost us thing. Like again, there's ways,
I also think it matters who does it though.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Had Tevin Jenkins been performing and living up to his draft stock, I don't think it would be a big deal. But because he's underperforming and his trajectory is going the wrong way, and he did this, like they're easier. It's easier to get fed up with him.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happened.
I think to bring it back to the Dolphins, if Jesse Davis done it, everyone's like, dude, you got the team. Like you cost us enough as it is. I think to a lesser extent, if Austin Jackson done it, friend of the podcast, Austin Jackson,
and he'd be doing it though.
Oh, of course, yeah.
He'd be doing. As a matter of fact, Austin Jackson, the only one that Sherrod Steve likes because he got some dog in him. You know what I'm saying? Like you always see Austin Jackson doing stuff like that.
But I think like with Austin Jackson, he does it like during the play. So he's like, okay, he's pushing someone back, pancake, staying like, do not get up. As opposed to, Michael Carter tries to get revenge on Tua after Tua ran him over. Flag, and then Jackson comes in, pushes him. Jackson once again penalty. It's like really, you know what I mean? So I just find it interesting because while everyone was having a go at Ifedi, and even knowing the circumstances, I'm still like, I can see why Jermaine Ifedi done it. It's because it's like we're struggling to move the ball. You cost us yards. It's I can see where he's coming from.
Listen, you're not gonna mention Michael Carter III getting ran over and not say Tua truck a guy over. You know what I'm saying? Like
some of those names, like
Tua truck a guy over, bro.
Have you seen the mic'd up from the weekend?
Yeah. So anyone who hasn't seen Tua like mic'd up, we mic up a lot of players. The Gesicki mic'd up was good. The Jerome Baker's always good when he's mic'd up. Tua was mic'd up. Man, that was a treat, bro. Like, listen, I'm watching mic'd up, and this is gonna sound so bad, but I'm watching mic'd up, and I'm just cheesing the whole time.
I was just saying,
I like a huge kid, bro. Just looking at it. I'm like, yeah, this is my dog. So hey, y'all go watch Tua mic'd up at Miami Dolphins. You can find it everywhere, IG, YouTube, and everything. And I'm not a fanboy, but like I said, if you guys remember, I said this on another episode. There's probably 3 people in the whole world that I'll probably get excited about if I ever meet in person. Like if I ever meet these 3 people in person, I don't know. I'll be geeked up, and I would not be able to. I can't even get it out now. I would not be able to speak right. 1 is Dana White, 2 is Habib Nurmagomedov, and 3 is Tua truck a guy over. Like, yo, if I ever meet Tua, bro, I'm gonna have to try to behave myself like Tua, bro. Like,
what?
Like, man,
like after you kind of walk around going, yeah. It's like, what I love is that he's sitting on the bed next to Parker, and he's like, yo. Like, he's such a kid. Parker's like, okay, cool, but two just like, yeah, I've done that. Like, it's the approval from like your big brother's like, see what I did there? See what I did? I could not start laughing, but also what was interesting, and this kind of got underappreciated in the sense that touchdown to Devante Parker, what Tua said about that, he was like, they had everyone on the right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
They left Parker one-on-one. That wasn't the read, but he's one-on-one. I have to go to him.
Yeah.
And I think, friend of the podcast, Kevin Dern, and others said that twice this season on game-winning touchdowns or game-winning moments, Tua has audibled out of what was meant to happen, changed it to something, and got positive. And so it's like, I'm not going to turn this into this is why Tua is the guy and stuff like that, but it's those small details. And yeah, that mic'd up was just so we're just so fun.
And he said we need this. That was that touchdown to Parker. We need this. Listen, we're not gonna put nobody out on the podcast, but the person listening, you know who you are. Tua threw a pick six, and probably could have threw 2 pick sixes because it was the same play that it could have went to the house. And then he got off the hook too with a couple other plays that could have been picks. He played his worst game as a Dolphin this past week.
That Bills game last season.
All right, cool. He underperformed last week, and a Tua fan was watching the game and said, we need to walk away with this W. We're driving, and I'm not comfortable with Tua throwing right now. The Tua fan said this. Like, I'm not comfortable with Tua throwing right now. And it's funny because I'm like, yo, Brett Favre was the gunslinger of all gunslingers. And if you ever watch 4 for Favre or A Day in the Life of Brett Favre, or what are all the specials they have when you retire, Brett Favre said, I think there was 2 times or maybe 3 where he threw a pick and went to the bench, and the very next play he came out, he threw another pick, right? He said that. And he said, and that 3rd time when I came out, I might throw another one. Just know I might throw another one because I'm not easing up. I'm still going to throw them out there like that, right? So if you're a young quarterback and you know you're not having the best game and it's not going your way and it's the end of the game, the last thing you want is to go in the next week with this bad game on your mind. You know what I'm saying? This bad taste in your mouth. So what does Tua do? Throw a touchdown that when we needed it most, like he threw it. He didn't run it. He threw it. That meant a lot. That got him over the hump. Now we're really focused on next week and the Saints and like not thinking about anything about last week except for trucking a guy over. You know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna put that person out, but I didn't appreciate it when that person said, I'm like, bro, you gotta let this man throw his way out of it. Give him a chance to get back. So that's what's up, man. Back to Sherrod Steve. Sherrod Steve sent me this. Shout out to Pro Bowler Xavien Howard with another Pro Bowl under his belt. 84 coverages in the last 2 weeks, 3 targets, 1 reception, 1 interception. Those are numbers. Those are Champ Bailey numbers. I ain't gonna lie to you, except for that touchdown, like or reception. Yeah, like those are Champ Bailey numbers. But Sherrod Steve, bro, like, can you be fair? Can you like say Xavien Howard and Byron Jones were targeted 5 times on a combined 72 coverage snaps, 1 reception, 9 yards. So yeah, X is balling. He went to the Pro Bowl, but Byron is balling too, bro. We out here, man. It's teamwork, make the dream work, bro. We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. I'm just saying. Shout out to X. He got a Pro Bowl bid. I'm gonna throw this at you, Kadeem. Jakeem Grant going to the Pro Bowl. Did you know?
So my I was always going to open the show with Will Fuller, but I was going to say Will Fuller played 4 snaps. Jakeem Grant, why does even one Jakeem Grant made the Pro Bowl? Should we have kept Jakeem Grant? That's what I was going to open with, but I couldn't go there. Listen, shout out to wide receiver 1 Jakeem Grant. Well done on making the Pro Bowl. I do think there's a few Dolphins fans, because I see it again, you know, on my timeline and stuff, who say even with Jalen Waddle in this team, Jakeem Grant is probably the most dangerous kick/punt returner the Dolphins have had for quite a while. I don't think Waddle's quite made that stride yet. I think with Jakeem Grant, over the last season and a half, obviously up until he left, I think people felt a lot more comfortable with Jakeem Grant returning punts. I think that was, you know, his speciality, I guess.
Listen, We about to go on the bonus time. This is a healthy episode right now, bro. I feel good to be back with the homies. Like I feel like we came off an injury, Kadeem, and like the first game back was just it was all right. And now we getting all cylinders rolling again. Like we back out here, man. So check it out. It's a Christmas edition. We'll probably be back to give you a preview on Sunday or Monday for our Monday night football game. So y'all stay positive, test negative. Come on over to bonus time with us. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
With Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time.
Bonus time.
Don't waste no time.
Guess what did you make of Jakeem Grant making a Pro Bowl?
I don't like it. I mean, not that it's Jakeem Grant I'm hating. I'm like, bro, he had one game and he balled out as a returner. So he's going as a returner. He's not going as a receiver.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, well, I guess no one else is really performing as a returner. But I got something better than that for bonus time. But shout out to Jakeem Grant. We gave away some Jakeem Grant gloves. I got some other stuff over here. Like I'm looking at something right now that is Jakeem Grant owned in my own apartment. Right, I'm looking at it right now. But the power rankings came out. NFL power rankings come out, and they got the Dolphins at 13. How you feel about that?
It's an odd one because people will say on this 6-game winning streak, the Dolphins haven't played anyone.
That's what they're gonna say.
You know, the Ravens probably the hardest team we've played, and even then, you know what the Ravens have done over the past few weeks. But I think, like a lot of people have said, or the rebuttal to that is to win 6 games in the NFL in a row isn't easy. You know, you've just seen the Cardinals, who look like they're going to run toward the playoffs and run very easily, lose to the Lions. The Lions had one win all season. So and this is also a Dolphins team who lost to the Jags, who have since fired the head coach, who lost to the Falcons. Listen,
that hurt so bad for you to say that, bro. Like, because I witnessed it. I was an eyewitness to the murder, bro. Like, dang, I watched that happen,
dude. Bro. I was sat next to friend of the podcast 5 Yard Lee. We're just like, but
Hey, I noticed you say friend of the podcast 5 Yard Lee. What's up with that, bro? Like, how come no one friend of the podcast Sarah Steve don't get friend of the podcast Sarah Steve? Friend of the podcast LB don't get friend of the podcast LB. Friend of the podcast Ali don't get friend of the podcast Ali. But friend of the podcast 5 Yard Lee gets friend of the podcast 5 Yard Lee. I thought we was reserving that for like Dolphin players.
I think I called Ollie friend of the podcast when we said, congratulations to him and his becoming a father. No, I think it's just listen, I sometimes forget to call, Robert Hunt and Miles Gaskin friend of the podcast. It's just the way my brain is. Sometimes I throw it in, sometimes I don't. And obviously, share my team knows I love him. But we're texting a lot more. Twitter famous LB knows, it's all love.
And to be fair, them boys ain't friends of the podcast, boy. They help. They part of the fabric. So yeah, y'all can't be called friends of the podcast.
Yeah, apologies. Family of the podcast. I don't really kind of sound the same. Come on, I forgot you asked me now.
5 Yard Lee. You were sitting next to 5 Yard Lee when we took in London.
No, yeah, talking about being ranked 13th and stuff. I think the one thing is, for the most part, you can only play who's in front of you. What do you want? What do you want the Dolphins to do? And the Dolphins have won these 6 games. I think prior to the season, I guess 5 of them would be ones you would expect the Dolphins to win. The only one you might think the Dolphins will struggle against was the Ravens, and the Dolphins did struggle until they brought in Tua. So, you know, so yeah, I just think, listen, people don't want to. Prime example. We'll talk about this more in the Saints preview.
Hold up, don't say it. Don't say it. Let me tell you what I think about the. You can say it after I go because you about to take it somewhere else, but I think 13 is respectable. It's like, hey, Miami, we see you guys. Some of us don't believe it's real, and we don't believe that there's any foundation to it. There's no substance to it, but we see you, and you're ranked 13th overall in the NFL right now. Nah, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I think that is actually respectable. And everything you just said about who did we play, and you can only play the teams that are in front of you, and the Ravens aren't even good no more, and all this other good stuff. And I think you were about to say this, and if you weren't, I'll let you go ahead and say what you said. But now we play the Saints, a real football team that is really on the edge of the playoffs, in the playoff race. They're in the thick of a playoff race. They are playing for their playoff lives right now. Then we got the Titans playing for their playoff lives, and then you got the Patriots that are the number 2 seed in the AFC. But we play the Saints, and we'll get into this on the Saints preview. But now Taysom Hill is on the COVID list. So now you're gonna play a Taysom Hill list Saints team, and you still got to play their defense. Taysom Hill doesn't play defense, so you still got to play him on defense. And now everyone's gonna say, who did you play, Miami? Guess what? I don't care who we played, bro. Like, if we get to the dance, you dance. You don't say, hey, who brought you to the dance? Like, nah, bro, we brought ourselves to the dance. I didn't come with nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We brought ourselves to the dance. So it was a 6% chance last Saturday that the Dolphins could make the playoffs. 6% chance. Now, what we're going for, and I know my co-hosts don't like to talk playoffs here, and it's fair. We won't talk playoffs, but just to give everybody a heads up before we get too close, and when we actually do start talking playoffs, what the Dolphins need is the Bengals to win their division, the Colts to win their division, and the Bills to win their division. If that can happen, it looks a lot better for Miami to win. And I understand we need to win out. So that's all I got about that. But what were you saying about, what you wanted to say about getting into the Saints preview? Which we will.
So basically, the Saints are starting Ian Book, who, funnily enough, I think Liam Micah blocked for when he was in college, and who the Dolphins had in the Senior Bowl, which is quite interesting. But everyone's going, oh, the Dolphins are so lucky. Look at their playing now. And again, Dolphins fans have replied and saying, we lost our starter for 4 weeks. No one talks about that. No one. And again, so it's like you get a situation where it's like, oh, the Dolphins have won 6 in a row and all that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah. And then some of those losses the Dolphins took at the start of the season, they had to cope with it. So, and again, this comes back to keep up the same energy. So, listen, I'm sure right now, Sims is out there crying because he's not going to see Taysom Hill v Tua. But again, like he said, Taysom Hill doesn't play defense. And let's be totally honest.
Sims who? Chris Sims?
Yeah.
Scatter the West right tight. That's that Sims?
That Sims who said that Taysom Hill was just as accurate as Tua. It's like,
listen,
we would have found out that's not true, but okay.
Bro, scatter the West right tight. F left 372. Y stick F spot. Come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Spit it out. Spit it out.
Yeah. And yeah, Taysom Hill doesn't play defense. The Saints still have a very mean defense. They still got Alvin Kamara.
9-zip, bro. They just beat Tampa 9-zip. Taysom Hill ain't do nothing. Taysom Hill did not help 9-zip over the Super Bowl champions. Like, Taysom Hill didn't do that. So let's play the game first.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, all this the Dolphins are lucky. It's going to be a game. It's going to be a tough game. It's not going to be easy. is it easier that the Dolphins are playing a rookie in his first start? Yeah, it's easier. But the Saints might Mac Jones this and throw the ball 3 times and just run the ball the rest. So listen, there's so much stuff to talk about in the
You gonna
offseason.
Mac Jones it, bro?
Gonna Mac Jones. QB wins ain't a stat, but you're gonna give that win to Mac Jones for throwing the ball 3 times. Get out of there, man.
Hey, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. We can't call 5-Yard League friend of the podcast, bro. Dog, he's in by association, bro. Like he might not be the first cousin, but he's a cousin, bro. You know what I'm saying? He can't be a friend no more, bro.
He's my first cousin. He's from London, or he's from England. Like he's my first cousin. Like
he's married in, bro. Like he can't be a friend of the podcast, bro. For real.
Lee, I apologize. Yeah, like I said, I sometimes forget to call, friend of the podcast, Mars Gaskin and Robert Hunt and Austin Jackson and whoever you meet when you're out and about in Miami. So, as that's on me. I apologize.
That's what's up. You got something else, bro?
I'm all good, man.
Ooh, y'all have a Merry Christmas, man. Monday Night Football. We will have another episode before Monday Night Football, but we appreciate everybody rocking with us. Y'all know what time it is.